Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the Week 11 and 12 commish address. I've had to bunch a couple together here just to make it all fit within the schedule. But I have a lot to get through today as we go through Week 11, Week 12, and we take a look at Thanksgiving / Rivalry Week coming up. We have 2 weeks left before the playoffs begin. There have been some playoff spots locked in. There will be some more playoff spots locked in after this week. And I'm excited for Rivalry Week. We'll take a look at that. The trade deadline is gone. There will be no more trades Monday night. That ended. Let's take a look at the Week 11 matchups. We've got myself taking on Wade. And Superman of the Week right away to myself. And why to myself and not to Rob? Because Rob, I got to throw out an honorable mention in Week 11. You did make a very honorable comeback with the Texans defense, but you went to bed. You didn't think it was going to happen. You were just hoping for the median. You've given up. You know who didn't give up? Actually, I gave up too. That's not even fair. I wasn't really watching football. But I was at 13%. 13% chance to win. Wade had an 87% chance to win. And as he started off well, he finished slow. And Bo Nix, James Cook, and the Minnesota defense finished off very well for me as I was able to come away with the win. Breece Hall has been turning it on lately for Wade, but inconsistencies have plagued him, as we will take a look at next week. Justin taking on Spencer, the Ginger Bowl. Joe Mixon, 35 points. He has been so good this year. 26-8. Of course, that's a bad week. 27, 26, 23, 16, 17, 35. Just his points per game has been unreal. But you know who's been better? Saquon Barkley for Spencer. He has been just a highlight reel every single week. I'm confident that at the end of this year, they're going to make a highlight reel of the plays of the year, and quarter of it's going to be Barkley. That reverse vault was crazy. The way he went off this past weekend was insane for like 50 some odd fantasy points. We'll take a look at that. Tyreek Hill did have a huge week. Justin was lucky enough to start him. Of course, Boomer Bust Justin this week had 190 points. His points for is quite impressive on the year despite being 8 and 16. Spencer will get the median victory and improve to 15 and 9. Moving on, Shane taking on Casey. Shane with the win here, 140 to 124. Casey, just not enough. CJ Stroud, 11 points. I saw that you traded him away. I know you've been a little bit perturbed by his inconsistencies this year. Maybe he'll improve a little bit now that Nico's back. Of course, big blow with CeeDee Lamb losing Dak for the rest of the season. I heard a report that he'll be back for the Super Bowl, so Dallas is still pretty hopeful. I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, Cortland Sutton has been good as of late. Bo Nix has been slinging it, definitely a top 10 quarterback. Anthony Richardson with a good game. Big balls playing Anthony Richardson the way that he has been playing this year, but 28 points from him in the victory, and you needed that. You needed a big week from him to win, so Shane is going to come away with the win there. Jordan taking on Nick. Nick, you needed a win, preferably 2. You didn't need it. I mean, your playoff hopes are not dead, but they went from not good to really bad. you needed some points. You needed a median victory. I know you weren't going to beat Jordan this week with 190, but that just wasn't going to cut it. Your bench is just depleted. So I don't know what you would have done, but it's been a tough year for you. McCaffrey has not been the Messiah that you were hoping he would be when he got back. Jordan with 191 points, just a monster week. Tua with 23, Eckler with 17, Amon-Ra 38, Jamar Chase 26. Those are two scary names, to be facing off in the playoffs if you're looking against Jordan. Amon-Ra and Jamar Chase. So that's a little nerve-wracking. 190 points for Jordan. Nick, you are a bitch of week 11. Mickey taking on Will. Mickey with the win, keeping his playoff hopes alive in week 11. Didn't go his way in week 12, as we will take a look at. But beaten Gus Bus. Not that that's super particularly difficult to do this year. 152 to 138. Joe Burrow with 29 points. He's been so good. Juwan Jennings has been a revelation for San Francisco since Ayuk is duty and then got injured, and Debo has been hurt, but he did play but didn't do much. Juwan Jennings is the new receiver there, and kind of the only light spot that San Fran is going for him right now, because they are just between the injuries and nobody really coming to step up. Honestly, they're not winning games. Jonnu Smith, the tight end of the week, I believe, with 2 touchdowns and 6 catches, also going for over 100 yards. Chris Boswell, 6 for 6 on field goals as Pittsburgh beats Baltimore 18-16 on 6 field goals. Joe Burrow threw 5 touchdowns against Baltimore, and they couldn't beat him. And Pittsburgh didn't throw 1 touchdown or even run 1 touchdown, and they beat them. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Rob taking on Eric. This was a huge game. Rob was looking like he was going to have the lead. Then T. Higgins came out and said, nope, Eric's going to win this week. And Rob was just hoping for the median. Saw the median win, went to bed, and little did he know that Houston defense was going to get a touchdown and 5 sacks and only allow 10 points. And 32 points later, he ends up beating Eric by 2. Again, you get a Superman mention of the week, Rob. It wasn't a huge comeback, but you did make the comeback. It was huge for a defense to get 32. Don't get me wrong, but I was at 13%. So come on now. Let's jump into the Week 12 matchups. Myself taking on Will. This one got out of hand real quick. I was getting nervous. I thought Will was going to win. I was down by a little bit. I was kind of just hoping for maybe a median victory, just kind of sneak one in there, and that didn't maybe look like that was going to happen either. And then somebody on my team turned it on. Trey McBride. Kyler Murray was not good, I guess, but Trey McBride was good. And A.J. Brown was good. That was Monday night. But actually, nobody on my team was really spectacular. How did I get 157 points? Trey McBride, I don't know. Will Lutz, 22 points from a kicker, I guess. That'll help. Anyway, I was able to beat Will this week 157 to 145. A few low outings from a few big players on his team. Jalen Hurts with 15. David Montgomery with 16, which is modest for anybody on the Detroit team. James Conner with 9. He's been good this year, so that's pretty low for him. Keenan Allen did have a nice long, was it a long touchdown? I can't even remember. A nice touchdown on the day. The Bears looked a little better. However, they still lost to Minnesota. Thank goodness. I did not want them to lose there. Jordan taken on Rob. Rob, not quite enough For the median, not quite enough for the victory, as Jordan will take this one 150 to 131. Tua with 23 points last week, 28 points this week, has been slinging it as Dolphins look to keep their playoff hopes alive. George Kittle, 20 points. He has been a fantastic tight end this year. Him and Brock Bowers are 1-2. I don't know what slot they are in at the moment, but both have been very good. Puka Nacua has been very good since he's been back from injury for Rob, and Michael Pittman had a decent day. He's been inconsistent this year. A Philadelphia defense with 25. That's doing good against the Rams when you got Kupp and Puka out there, as well as Kyron Williams. Shane taking on It's Mickey. And Shane, this is for you because you needed it. You needed victories this week, especially as Rob struggled. This was huge for you to get 2 wins. You come away 152 to 134. This puts you at 12-12, which ties you with Rob in, he's at 12-12 as well, but you lose the points for battle at the moment. But that is important, as now you are very much in striking distance of a playoff spot. Now, let's take a look at why you won. Nico Collins is back. He was so good to start the year, and then he got injured. He is back, 5 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. He will look to build on that as Houston loses to Tennessee, which is a big hit for Houston. That's, as a playoff aspiring team, that's a team you should probably beat, especially as you get later in the season. Mark Andrews looks like he's back. He does have quite a few touchdowns in these last 5 or 6 weeks. And both Green Bay and Tampa Bay defenses ended up with 22 points. Mickey, you really, really, really needed a median win, and you were close. It was 140 something, I think, this week. So you were close to the median win, but just not quite enough. And that would have kept your playoff hopes a little bit more bright than they are now. But unfortunately, you were unable to get that, despite being so close. Shane, 152 with the victory. Casey versus Eric. Before I get into this matchup, I want to draw your attention to this right over here. As of the end of week 12, Sleeper has attributed Casey with the title of the worst manager, as he scored 69%, nice, of their possible lineup score. Perfect possible lineup. So he scored 128 points. 128 points. And if he started the right players, he would add 185.
Dumb bitch.
That's huge.
She's a dumb bitch.
That's
Dumb
huge.
bitch.
And you,
You a
like,
dumb bitch.
mathematically,
Dumb
you
bitch.
needed it.
You's a dumb bitch. You's a
Fuck.
dumb bitch. You's a dumb bitch.
That sucks.
Dumb bitch. Dumb bitch. Dumb bitch. Yeah, dumb bitch.
Eric coming away with the win by just over 6 points, 134 to 128. Starting Tommy DeVito. That I did not realize. If you would have lost, that you could have been done. Tommy DeVito? You couldn't have put Justin Herbert in your quarterback slot and then start. Never mind. Tommy DeVito, everybody. Damn, dude. 10 points from Tommy DeVito is enough to get the win for Eric. Ramondre Stevenson, only 3 points for Casey. One of those players you just can't rely on, but then you put him on the bench and he gets 20 points. CeeDee Lamb has been okay since Dak has been gone, but this is probably his ceiling. Courtland Sutton, like I said before, has been so good. He had 2 touchdowns against Vegas. Jalen Waddle also had a really good day in New England. He has 28 points on the week. Wade taking on Nick. I know this is a little bit unorthodox, but we've got a kind of a double bitch of the week going on in week 12. Because Casey's inefficiency deserved it. But Wade, you were 14 and 8 going into this week. That's pretty good. You're in the playoffs. You're kind of just playing for position at this point. What's the worst that could happen? 84 points? Everybody, I don't know if I've seen this before, everybody on your team was either gray or red. Not one person on your team, starter or bench, really met their expectations. They certainly didn't exceed them. Not one exceeded their expectations. I mean, Stroud did by 0.4, but he's still great. 85 points? Anyway, Nick, you need those 2 wins. You really did. You needed those 2 wins. And we got double bitch of the week. We're going to have double Superman of the week. And we're going to have both doubles in this matchup as Nick needed 2 wins to keep his playoff hopes alive. And he did it. Anyway, I digress. Whiskey Jack, Mr. Justin. What the did you guys play each other twice in a row? Did you guys do that? Is that what happened? Did you guys do a doubleheader? No shit, you did. Whiskey Jack winning 190 to 158 last week in the doubleheader of the doubleheader Ginger Bowl. That is, we might have to keep that right before Thanksgiving. Block, block. That was my turkey. Damn. Where is Whiskey Jack now? 2 high-scoring affairs. Spencer coming away with the win in this one, 174 to 140. I think if you tally up the total scores, though, Justin's going to get a bit of a headway in this one. Didn't you have 190 last week? Let's take a quick look. Yeah, 190. Damn. Anyway, it's going to be close because you only had 140 this week. That a tight matchup between you guys for 2 weeks. That's good. I like it. Patrick Mahomes, 28 points for Spencer, finally coming to play. They nearly lost to Carolina. And Saquon Barkley, just 255 yards. Breaking Shady McCoy's Philadelphia record. No big deal. No big deal. It makes you overlook the fact that the rest of Spencer's team was not that great. You had Mahomes, Barkley, and Daniels. And that made up 120 of your 170 points. So you got some boom or bust, which I guess is what it takes to win in the playoffs. But hopefully they don't all bust at the same time, giggity. Let's take a look at the standings. We have Make America Drake Allen and Phil McCracken, Eric and Jordan at 17 and 7. Mathematically, they have secured playoff positions. Congrats to you two. Now, I think a better way to go through these standings is to talk about the all-important Week 13. Why is it important? We have 2 weeks left until the fantasy playoffs. So this is going to be for positioning. This is going to be for battles to make the playoffs. This is going to be battles to make bye weeks and secure bye weeks. And not only in the main playoffs, but in the Toilet Bowl as well. So, going into Rivalry Week, Thanksgiving week, by quick reminder, we have 3 NFL games on Thursday. They start in the morning. There's also a game, I believe, on Friday. So get on top of your lineups and get that shit figured out. But in the first Rivalry Week matchup, we have Casey at 7-17 taking on Will at 8-18. Why does that matter? Well, if you'll notice here, Casey and Will are 11th and 12th. This is the battle for last spot. Now, a reminder for the Toilet Bowl, the bottom 2 will get bye weeks because you need to win in the Toilet Bowl. You just have to win one match in the Toilet Bowl to get out. If you lose all your matches in the Toilet Bowl, you got to eat shit or whatever the challenge is. So this is the battle for last place. And trying to improve out of that Toilet Bowl bye. In the next matchup, we have Justin at 8-16 taking on Wade at 14-10. Justin, this matchup doesn't matter as much. He wants to avoid the Toilet Bowl bye week. And he's also going to want to try and play spoiler because Wade, you are a good week from being in 3rd and a bad week from being in 6th and fighting for your playoff life next week. So this is a big week for Wade. Justin, again, you're looking to improve position in that Toilet Bowl. I don't think you're going to make the playoffs, but prove me wrong. You got lots of points for. Who the fuck knows? Next, we got Mickey at 9-15 taking on Jordan at 17-7. Mickey's kind of in the same position as Justin, as he's going to want to avoid the Toilet Bowl bye week, and he's going to want to play a bit of spoiler as Jordan right now. He has wrapped up a playoff spot, but will be looking to solidify his first round bye week, as both him and Eric are 17-7 and 2 wins ahead of anybody else. He's going to want to hang on to that, one of those top 2 spots. Next, we have Nick at 10-14 taking on Eric at 17-7. Nick, you desperately need 2 wins. You are at 10-14 and in 8th position. 6th and 7th are both at 12-12. You need some W's this week to keep your playoff hopes alive. If you get 2 wins, there's an opportunity there. The trouble is 6 and 7 play each other this week. So, best case scenario, neither of them get any wins. That can't happen for you. So, somebody there is going to get some wins and maybe 2. And, there might even be 3 wins dished out in that head-to-head matchup if you're unlucky. So, you need a little bit of help there. But, Nick, you got to get some wins. Eric, you're in the same position as Jordan, as you're going to be looking to solidify a bye week in the first round of the playoffs, as you've already ensured that you make the playoffs already. Shane at 12-12 in 7th position versus Rob at 12-12 in our 6th and final playoff spot. I don't think I need to tell anybody why this matchup matters. The winner is going to have a playoff position at the end of this week. And that's going to feel a hell of a lot better going into the final week, defending rather than knowing you need to attack and you need help. Because you're not going to be able to do it alone, but you can this week. This is your opportunity to show why you deserve that 6th position. You're both 12-12. Rob has a slight advantage in points for, about 43 points, if I'm calculating it out quickly in my head. But like I said, the winner will get one more victory this week than the other and will get the 6th position going into the final week. So that's a huge matchup to keep an eye on. Huge! The biggest, in fact. Spencer and I is the next one. We are both 15-9. So, if anybody's turning on the TV, our game's probably more interesting. Because we're 15-9. You guys are 12-12. But you guys are fighting for a playoff spot. Anyway, Spencer and I are 15 and 9. What are we playing for? Well, winner of this week will have a much better chance at trying to get a first round bye in the final week of the regular season. And there's a very, very good chance, I think it's I don't know if it's a mathematical certainty, but it's a very, very good chance that the winner of, yeah, I think it's a mathematical certainty. The winner of Spencer and I will guarantee a playoff spot. There's a chance that both of us, I think, can secure one this week. But the winner of this week should secure a playoff spot, which is huge, and be within striking distance of a bye week, which is also huge. Anyway, I don't know how long this video has been going. I kind of smushed 2 weeks into one. I'm going to try and get a video per week out now that we only have 2 weeks left in the regular season. And then we are into the playoffs, which is 3 short weeks. And someone will be walking away with $2,000 cash. May your players stay healthy and ever unproductive. Commish out.